Good noon, all of you. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible to everybody. Right. I am Nikita and I welcome you to this session CMAT 2022 previous year grammar questions. So today we'll talk about various types of grammar questions that can be asked from you, that have been asked from you in the past, right? We'll cover various question types, and again the idea is to cover various concepts through these question types. So you'll see quite a few concepts today being covered through these questions. Okay, so give me a hi so that I know that you are here. Yes, then we'll begin. Okay. All right. Hi, John. Good afternoon. All right. So, the idea is again to attempt these questions as quickly as possible, right? So that's because grammar questions are your time saving questions. So I want you to actually save your time here as well, right? So attempt them as quickly as possible, right? But do remember to go through all the options. Don't just jump to an answer. Okay, just because let's say after reading option B you feel that is the answer. No, read all A, B, C and D and then decide. All right. Hi Kripa. Hello Radha. Let's begin. So this is our first question, a previous year question, of course. Now tell me which of these options most appropriately replaces the underlined part. Yes. Hello Balveer. The Russian music of the 19th century is richer and more varied than France. Hello Nishtha. Hi Prateek. Hello Manu. Kripa says B. All right. Okay. Chitambarantan also says B. John says A. All right. Makaran says B. So I've got 3 B's and 1 A so far. Others. Radha says B. Good noon, Bhavyash. Shama B. Balveer B. So basically, a lot of you are saying B, right? Now, you are absolutely right. So here a comparison is happening, isn't it? We are comparing two things. Comparison. The word has par in it. Par. We compare two things that are similar in nature, that are at par. We compare like things, similar things. So I am comparing the music, the Russian music of the 19th century, right? I cannot compare it with France itself. Then France is incorrect. This is a very common error that we make in our conversations, comparing unlike things. So I have to compare the music of Russia with the music of France only. Okay, so it is richer. Okay, whenever you have an ER form of comparative degree, fast, faster, fastest, in that case, you should not say fast, more fast, most fast, because whenever you have ER and EST forms, you prefer ER and EST forms. So anyway, C and D are eliminated. See, for varied, we do not have anything called varieder. So it is going to be more varied. So the Russian music of the 19th century, because a comparison is happening, it should be richer and not rich and more varied than what? The music of France, right? Instead of than the music of France, we could also have written than that of France. Instead of writing the music of, I could also have written than that of France. So that refers to music, right? It's implied there that that refers to music. Okay, I hope this is clear. This was an easy question, a previous year question. We were comparing, we always compare like things. Okay, next question. Identify the incorrect sentence here. Yes, identify the incorrect sentence. Hello, Sandhya, Dipali. Let's see who answers the fastest here. No, Dipali, this is the second question that we are on. So you can just look at the first question later on. Hello, Abhinav. Hello, Soumya. Okay, Kripa says C. Chelsea says C. Radha C. Balveer C. Makaran C. Okay, okay. A lot of C's I've got. D also, one D. Okay, I understand you're marking D. Karthik and Vishal say B. All right. So we have to identify the incorrect sentence here. This question is based on pronouns, right? And which pronouns particularly? Particularly what we know as indefinite pronouns. Okay. So first of all, everyone is an indefinite pronoun, right? We are not referring to anyone in particular. No, when we say everyone, we are referring to everyone in general, all the people in general. Everyone must meditate in his or her room is absolutely correct. Everyone is singular. So we should not say everyone must meditate in their room. I understand that you may have heard this in colloquial English, in spoken informal English. Everyone must meditate in their room. That is because A, it is very tedious to repeat his or her time and again, right? And secondly, if I want to be gender neutral, then there is better as compared to his or her. So those two reasons actually prompt us to say there, but standard British English still says that everyone is singular and therefore it should be his or her and not their. Okay, so A is correct. No error there. Good, nobody said A also. Now B, either, each, every, either, and neither. Again, these are indefinite pronouns, and again, all of them are always singular. They are always singular. What do I mean by that? So if either has been used, I need a singular verb and not a plural verb. What is the verb in this sentence? In sentence B, what is the verb? Kripa, there is no difference between everyone and everybody. Everybody is slightly more informal than everyone. So if you're writing a research paper, you would not write everybody, you would write everyone. Okay. So yes, in B, in sentence B, what is the verb? The verb is lead, right? This is the verb here. So, see the concept of singular plural, what does it apply to? It applies to nouns and verbs, nouns, pronouns and verbs, right? So here the pronoun I'm saying is singular, so the verb should also be singular. A singular verb takes an S or an ES, isn't it? Plays, dances. A singular verb takes an S or an ES. But here we do not have an S or an ES. So this is incorrect. I should have said leads to my house. And this is a very common error. Again, why? Because the moment you see roads, lead appears fine. But you need to realize that the subject here is not roads, the subject here is either. Okay, the subject here is either. Very good, all of you. So, leads to my house, and that is why B is our answer. This is incorrect. C, a lot of you said C. C is absolutely fine. One is a special pronoun. One is a special pronoun. Not only is it singular, it is singular, but it is always, whenever I refer to it further, I use one only. For instance, one must, here we have a sentence, one must not underestimate oneself. One must complete one's homework. Okay, one must, yeah, so one's homework, oneself. When I should not say himself or herself when I refer to one further. Okay, so this is absolutely fine. Then D says none of her friends are interested, and I absolutely understand your thinking that this is incorrect. Okay, because the thing that comes to our mind is that none means zero, right? So how can it be plural? That's the thing that comes to our mind. So first of all, you need to understand that zero in mathematics also it's neither singular nor plural. So we should not really think zero hai to singular hoga. Secondly, when I say none of her friends, so remember Sanam pronouns. In one of our classes, I elaborated on this acronym. Yes, I told you there are these pronouns called Sanam pronouns. They are a part of indefinite pronouns only. Some, any, none, all, majority, or more. Right. These can be singular also, these can be plural also, depending on the context. Remember the question that we did there, the example that I took there was of mangoes. That if, let's say, you went to buy mangoes, now you came back empty-handed, so your mom asked, why didn't you buy any mangoes? Okay, so you would say none were ripe because you went to buy multiple mangoes and none were ripe. So none of her friends, it depends on the context. And see, this is the context, the of phrase. None of her friends are interested. Are interested. Okay. If let's say none of the watch, none of the let's take this. So again, let's take the example of that mango itself, right? Instead of, let's say, mangoes, you went to buy a watermelon. Usually we buy one watermelon at a time. So again, when you came back empty-handed and your mom asked, where's the watermelon? You would say none was ripe. In such a situation, you would say none was ripe. Okay. I hope this makes sense. All right. Subject and verb agreement won't work. So here, see, the subject you are, I understand your thinking. The subject verb agreement is working here. The thing is that we are considering none as plural. We are considering it as a plural pronoun. So the subject verb agreement is working. Okay, none are interested. When I say that, I am thinking of it as a plural subject. It's just that none is very chameleon like. It can be a plural pronoun also, it can be a singular pronoun also. Here it is a plural subject, that's why we are putting are. Hope this makes sense. All right. Yes. So I hope this is clear to everybody. I have addressed your queries also. Important topics for CMAT grammar. See, again, I cannot isolate some topics and say just do these and this will work for you. You can be asked anything under the sun that falls in the category of grammar. Any rule can be tested. Any part of speech can be tested. So, for instance, here I am testing you on pronouns, right? In the previous one, I was testing you on adjectives. So, don't confine yourself to certain topics only. At this stage, I would say practice your previous year questions, right? So you learn a lot of concepts through them. Practice the previous year questions of various non-CAT exams. And yes, so for areas such as prepositions, for instance, you do get fill in the blanks on prepositions. Similarly, we saw some questions on voice. So when you are able to identify a clear-cut topic, so FIBs on prepositions, okay, I have seen them quite a few times, so let me just prepare for them. Voice, so I need to understand this concept. So that way, yes, you can isolate some concepts for you. Otherwise, we can't generalize कि यही आता है. Nouns ही आएंगे, pronouns नहीं आएंगे. I can't say that. Okay. All right. So are they singular or plural? So Shreyansh is saying, see, Sanam pronouns can be both. Can be both. That is why they are chameleon like, no? They can be singular also, they can be plural also, depending on the context. It's the context that decides, it's the noun that decides. Okay? Revision of grammar. Yes, I think we do have some revision sessions. Okay, we have two revision sessions that I know of. One is language comprehension revision in one shot, and one is language comprehension marathon. So there I'll discuss everything with you, vocabulary, grammar. So it will be based on your your language comprehension section in its entirety. Uh, if you want a particular session on grammar, I think we can do that for MA at CET, because for CMAT the schedule has already been made. For MA at CET we can do that, a grammar revision session dedicated to it. Okay. Good afternoon, Mihir. All right. Now, spot the error here. Error spotting question. A CAT RC session, Vishal. So we meet every Friday, okay? And in those sessions, we are discussing the CAT VARC part itself, CAT 2022. So for CAT 2022, I meet you every Friday, okay? There have been some changes to the schedule this month. Okay, so I'll tell you towards the end of this session, I'll talk about various CMAT sessions also and CAT sessions also. Don't worry. Critical reasoning, again, in fame, that is happening. So for verbal reasoning, I've taken one session on YouTube, I remember. Then there is another, I think, verbal reasoning section that's going to happen. So there I'll address critical reasoning. Okay, that can be done. So BA, all right. He is dash of our troop. So some of you think there is an error in okay. I understand. Some of you think the should come here. So the is missing here. Some of you think it should come here. So that's why B. Is it? Is that the reason why you've marked A? So actually, before Shakespeare, we need a the. Before Shakespeare, we need a the. So technically, the error is here in the part B because before this noun, an article is needed. Okay. So B should have been the answer here. B is a better answer choice. I understand your query. So this question could have been framed in a much clearer manner, right? However, technically speaking, this part is fine. The subject and the verb, they are absolutely fine. The error is that an article was needed before this noun, but it is missing. So B is erroneous, correct. Now, why do I need this the here? He is the Shakespeare of our group. See, Shakespeare is a proper noun, and we have been taught in school that proper nouns don't need the. We never say, okay, the Nikita is teaching. So why do I need the here? I need the here because I am not. Yes, John. So I have sessions every day. Every single day I'll be taking sessions. Don't worry. Okay. Uh, so we need the here because this is not really functioning as a proper noun here. Who was Shakespeare? Shakespeare was a talented writer, a talented playwright. So what I want to say is that he is a talented playwright. He is a very talented writer. Instead of saying that, I, in a way, to emphasize that fact. For instance, he is the Einstein of our class. Instead of saying that he is a genius, he is the most intelligent boy in our class, I say he is the Einstein of our class. Similarly, here this proper noun has been used as a common noun to mean a talented playwright. And that is why I need a the here. Hope this is clear to you. He is the Shakespeare of our troop. He is the Einstein of our class. I am not using these as proper nouns here, right? So, see, if I wrote a simple sentence like Shakespeare was also called no, I'll take a single, the Bard of the Bard of Avon. Avon is the name of a place. Yes. So if I write this, Shakespeare was also called the Bard of Avon. In that case, I don't need a the here. So it's not like it is the name of a famous person, so I need to put the. That's not the logic. The logic is I'm not using it as a proper noun here. It has been used as a common noun here. Okay, as a substitute for talented playwright. Okay, and because I am referring to a specific, where is he intelligent? Where is he a talented playwright? In our troupe, right? Of our troupe. So that makes it a specific, needs a specific article, right? So the is required because ऐसा नहीं हर जगह बहुत talented है वो. I am talking about our troupe particularly. So the Shakespeare of our troupe, the Einstein of our class. Okay. Otherwise, if this of was not there, you would say he is an Einstein. He is an Einstein. Then you would say this. Then you would not say he is the Einstein. Because now you just need to, you mean to say he is a genius. So he is an Einstein. Okay. Hope this is clear. Rishabh, not necessarily. that synonym antonym questions are repeated. In fact, see, the papers that I have seen so far, I haven't seen them being repeated as such. But what I saw was, I'll tell you. So, for instance, in one of the years, the synonym for zealot was asked. I think we covered it also in the last session itself, right? In the other year, a spelling question was asked in which one of the spellings was of zealot, right? Then in one of the years, the word sabotage, that was asked as a vocabulary question. Its meaning was asked. The meaning of this word was asked. In another year, this was asked as a grammar question, that sabotage means this, which the question was based on which or that. Again, we have done that question, which or that. So that sort of repetition, yes, I have witnessed, but exact synonym antonym question repetition, I haven't seen. Okay, why do I talk about doing past year papers? You get acquainted with the question types. Okay, and of various other non-CAT exams, of course, one or the other word from there could come in the exam, could come in CMAT. That is why I ask you to go for the previous year papers. Okay, plus you'll gain a lot of questions from your mock tests as well. So whatever mocks you are taking, those will also expose you to a number of vocabulary questions. So you will pick up words from there as well. He is a genius, Abhinav. He is a genius. Acha, you are saying if I want to emphasize, um, then yes, you could say he's the genius. But then that is more common in spoken English, because that emphasis will appear in spoken English only. No, in written English, either you'll have to italicize that the in order to convey to your reader that okay, I'm emphasizing it. So if this comes in the exam, if let's say this comes in the exam, sorry, he is a genius or he is the genius. If let's say this came in my exam, I would mark a only, because that the emphasis comes out in spoken English. Right? Hope this is clear, Abhinav. All right. How many vocabulary questions? See, you can expect 10 to 12 vocabulary questions. Okay. This was the case when there were 25 questions, right? So out of 25 questions, now there are 20. So 8 to 10 you can expect to be from vocabulary. It does depend on, let's say, how many questions from RCs are asked, because that's the other major component. But what I have seen is that vocabulary tends to be the next dominant area. After RCs, vocabulary is the next dominant area, then comes grammar. That has been my observation of a number of years. In 1 or 2 years, grammar has also carried equal weightage, but mostly vocabulary ka second number par hota hai and then grammar. Okay. All right. Chalo, let's move ahead. Now, choose the sentence that is most clearly written and has the best construction. Yes, a previous year question again. Let's see what you say. Okay. Like this. That's the maximum that I'm telling you from my opinion. Okay, this is just my opinion. Kripa, don't worry. Okay. So out of these 20 questions, right, vocabulary questions can be 6 to 7 also. It's not, I have not given you a definite number that 8 to 10 aayenge hi aayenge. These are just my opinions, okay, based on what I have seen. So let's say you get 4 RC passages, or let's say you get 3 RC passages of 4 questions each. Then in that case 12 questions would be from RCs themselves, isn't it? So if 12 questions, then you are left with just 8 questions. Those have to be divided between vocab and grammar. So it all depends on how many RCs you are asked. Okay. So don't think of what I'm saying as the last word. Okay. What is sabotage? Somebody's asking that. Now the answer that you've given for this is A. Mostly A. Yes, I've got just one D. Absolutely. A is the answer here. Okay, so this is an easy question from your previous year paper. Uh, when it won't rain, the sky was full of clouds. Such tense inconsistency, isn't it? Future tense, past tense. What is this person trying to say? Since the sky was full of clouds, it wouldn't rain. Isn't this logically incorrect? If the sky is full of clouds, then ideally there is a likelihood that it is going to rain, right? So eliminate it. It won't rain because the sky is full of clouds again. So does not, this cause effect relationship is very weak, right? There's nothing for me to justify that why is it that it is not going to rain if the sky is full of clouds. So the sky is full of clouds, yet it won't rain. It's a contradiction. Usually you expect it to rain. Okay, so it's very contradictory that the sky is full of clouds, yet it won't rain. A is the answer here. Yes, so I asked you the meaning of sabotage. Sabotage is, yes, when you go for a deliberate destruction, okay, it's a deliberate destruction. Self is not necessary, that is self sabotage. The word for that is self sabotage if it is self destruction. Sabotage means deliberate destruction. Okay, so for instance, let's say a soldier sabotaging his own country's efforts to win against another country. Right, so actually, this term has its origin in politics and military only, but now it is used in a general sense. Right? Okay, now. Yes, damaging something on purpose. Correct, correct, correct. Very good. That's the spirit, John. Now, find the correct sentence here. Let's see what you say. Okay, okay. Waiting for your response. All right. So I've got 4 to 5 responses so far. B, A, B, A. All right. D also. None are none. It should be R correct. See, my bad. None are correct. Multiple sentences, no? I told you that it depends on the context. So none of the sentences are correct. All right. So A, C, see this. This here has two concepts involved in it. Okay. One is the modifier concept. So having arrived late for practice, having arrived, somebody has arrived late. Somebody has arrived late for practice. So shouldn't I name or give a pronoun for this person here? Because if I don't, what impression do I get? That a written excuse arrived late for practice. That's not what I want to say, no? Having arrived late for practice, I needed a written excuse. This makes sense. Okay, I arrived late for practice, so I needed a written excuse. So this here is missing the correct subject. The correct subject here is I, he, she, or the name of that person. Right? Having arrived indicates that someone has arrived. And if you are using it before the main clause, you should now put the name or the pronoun for that person. Right? So now it makes sense. Having arrived, I. Otherwise, it seems like a written excuse has arrived late. We call this a dangling modifier in English. Okay. Another error here that you can look at this sentence from another angle. See, having arrived. That means somebody has arrived. what I told you. This is an active verb. ये active voice है. Someone has arrived, right? Someone has arrived. This is active voice, doer of the action. Whereas a written excuse was needed by someone, this is passive. So there is voice inconsistency here. This is in the active voice while this is in the passive voice. Either both should be in the passive or both should be in the active. So having arrived late for practice, I needed a written excuse, she needed a written excuse. Now it becomes of active voice. So one to definitely galat hai. So these two cannot be the answers. Now, again, this question is based on modifiers. So second says being an athlete. Who is an athlete? Who is being an athlete here? Yes. Usain Bolt, right? Usain Bolt or Usain Bolt's body? Who is an athlete? Usain Bolt or Usain Bolt's body? Usain Bolt. Whereas the subject that is there right after being an athlete is Usain Bolt's body. So body to athlete nahi hai. So actually I should rephrase this sentence by saying being an athlete, Usain Bolt has a flexible body. Very subtle. Okay, this is a very subtle difference, but actually this is incorrect because यहाँ पर subject क्या है? Body. Usain Bolt तो adjective की तरह function कर रहा है. Okay, so body is not an athlete, Usain Bolt is an athlete, and that is why 2 is again incorrect. Okay, so actually none are correct here. 3 is also incorrect. 3 is also incorrect. Having been, no. Having arrived. See, been is needed when, let's say, let's take been happy. Having been happy for a long time. Okay, now see. So here I am putting been because the verb here itself is, so I am happy, right? When I say I am happy, so am ka third form kya hai? Am ka third form will be been only. Okay, basically am is a form of be na, so be, being, been. So यहाँ पे third form हो जाएगा been. Okay, so that is when I'll put been here. But here I already have a third form arrived ka, arrived ही है ना? So having arrived. So that's why I do not need a been here. All right. Having been late, having been happy, that would be correct. Not here. Been is not needed. अच्छा, third में क्या wrong है? Yes, third में there is again a very big error actually. RCs in grammar. Okay, so Mihir, see, what I believe is RCs are something that you have been preparing for, right? So yes, do keep on attempting RCs. Grammar, yes, it is rule based. Because it is rule based, so that's why it's easier to learn those rules, and then if you're able to apply them also, if you're able to detect them also in the question, then yes, grammar is, let's say, if it's a sea, vocabulary on the other hand is an ocean. That difference is there between grammar and vocabulary. So I would not say that focus less on vocabulary, just that focus on the necessary things that you can do for vocabulary right now. Okay, limited things. You can have a limited focus on vocabulary now, because now is not the time to go for multiple books, to start with multiple vocabulary books. And yes, you can have a let's say a better or a higher focus on RCs and grammar. That can work. However, there is a possibility that there can be a higher number of vocabulary questions as compared to grammar questions. So you have to be prepared for that eventuality. Okay, and score improvement is actually a function of, are you able to apply the concepts in the question or not. For instance, I'll now tell you why this question, this sentence is wrong, and you will relate. अच्छा हाँ ये इसलिए incorrect है, but अभी strike नहीं कर रहा हूँ. So it's also about application. Okay, so see that whatever you learn, you're able to apply it, and that will lead to an improvement in your score. Now, walking in the garden. Who is walking in the garden? A snake? See, this is actually functioning as a phrase that is modifying, that is giving details about this entire subsequent clause. ये पूरा जो ये वाला जो part है इसका add कर रहा है ना इसमें information, it is adding information to that. So walking in the garden, who was walking in the garden? Of course the snake was not walking. What impression does this sentence give? So the snake was walking in the garden and then the snake bit her. While walking in the garden, I was bitten by a snake, or she was bitten by a snake, he was bitten by a snake. So that will make it clear who was walking in the garden. He or she or I was bitten by a snake. Either you put it like this, or another way of writing this sentence would be, while she was walking in the garden, a snake bit her. So either you put the subject in this or you put the subject in this part. It has to be put somewhere. Okay, so just by adding while, the sentence will not become correct. Just by adding while, the sentence will not become correct. Make sense? All right, all right. Now, D is the answer. See, Barons, if you're able to do it, yes, nothing like it. Okay, then word par made easy. You must, I mean, again, you should have started it earlier, because now I think it's already first. So now I don't expect you to finish the entire book. If you have already started these things, you are doing them, then yes, do complete them. If you haven't, then I don't think you can complete them. Okay. Barons, okay, still some people, some students will be able to complete, but not word par made easy. It does require some amount of your time, right? So instead of that, as I've said, focus on your mocks, learn through questions, focus on your past year vocabulary questions. I also suggested this app to you, Vocab Builder by Magoosh. That's a very fast way of learning around. I think you will again pick up 500, 600 words from here. So these are some areas from where you can pick up words. Okay. If balance is left, yeah, then yes, I think you can you can do half of it perhaps. I think that can be that is doable. Half of it can be done. So yes, the subject is required in three, in two as well as in one. The same type of error was present in all the three. That's why none are correct. Okay. Hope this is clear. Any query, ask me any query in these questions that we've done so far. Some of these were pretty simple. I hope the concept of none is clear to you. It can be singular also, plural also. It's not like you shouldn't equate it to something singular just because it's nil. The Shakespeare of the class, the Shakespeare of the troop versus he is an Einstein, he is a Shakespeare. I hope that is also clear to everybody, right? And these were some examples of dangling modifiers. Hope these are also clear. Let's proceed. Yes, before proceeding, if you think that this session is valuable, please go and press the like button, right? I have been replying to your comments in the comment section. If you have any queries later on, you can always comment, okay? I will reply. Now, again, this is an error spotting question. Let's see what the error here is. Singular. In both the cases, singular Manu. Okay. C, B, all right. Okay, okay. Rishabh, necessary, by necessary I meant high frequency words. So again, how do I see the word these lists that are there? Okay, high NMAT high frequency word list, Barron's list, word par made easy. These have high frequency words only, words that you use uh, more commonly, right, in your daily life. These are high frequency words, and these are the ones that ideally exams Most of the exams question on these words, except let's say IFT, which some years back used to question on very esoteric words. Otherwise, most of the exams ask these high frequency words. So those become the necessary ones. But right now, I would say you should not worry a lot about vocabulary. What I see is a lot of concern about vocabulary. See, uh, all the students out there, it's just that one or two of them would know one or two more questions on vocabulary as compared to you, and some of them would know one or two less questions. That's going to be the difference, right? Unless and until somebody is, let's say, has been really into vocabulary since their childhood or reads a lot, then of course there's a significant difference there. But you can always cover that gap by, let's say, maximizing your accuracy in RC passages. Yes, by ensuring that you attempt your grammar questions as to the best of your knowledge, and by actually maximizing your score in the other sections. There are other sections also. CMAT offers you that advantage, right? So don't be very stressed about vocabulary. I see a lot of stress in the chat box right now. Okay. Don't do that. As I said, vocabulary is an ocean. Nobody can master it as such. Okay. A, D, C, all right. B also. I've got B also. Okay. So basically everything. Uh, I couldn't meet him in the morning. So I couldn't meet him in the morning is a correct expression. In the morning, then in the afternoon, in the evening, but for night we say at night. Okay, so these are the expressions. So this is correct. Part A does not have any error. So this is past simple tense, right? I could not meet him, past simple. I could not meet him in the morning, so I decided to see him after I had finished. After I had, this had, the second had refers to finished or eaten. So I decided to see him after I had finished. This is the error. I had finished dinner. Okay, the is not required. So this is a confusing question. It's a tricky question because a lot of times with the moment students see two hads, they think acha ye yoga error. Okay, and they mark B and proceed. But actually, no, this is correct. The error is here. See, when we talk about our meals of the day in a general sense. So, have you had lunch? Yes, yes, I have had my lunch. So, did you see me putting the anywhere? I'm going to have lunch, not I'm going to have the lunch. I'm having dinner right now. So we do not put the before our meals of the day when we are talking about them in a general sense, right? So this the is erroneous. However, if you're talking about a specific meal, oh, the dinner that I had on Monday was amazing. The dinner that I had on Monday. So now you'll put the before dinner because you're talking about a specific dinner that you had on Monday. Okay? Now the is needed, otherwise no. Now, why is had correct? You must be thinking this do kaise aa gaye? Yes? See, so I have eaten my lunch. Common sentence, right? I have eaten my lunch. Everybody says this. Now, I have, instead of writing eaten, see, have as a verb is used as a helping verb also, auxiliary verb also. Right, so यहाँ पर ये क्या है? Helping verb. This is the helping verb. This is the main verb. But have is also used as a main verb. In the sense of main verb, it can mean to own. For instance, I have a car. It can mean to eat. I am having lunch. It can mean to experience. I am having a good time. Right? So it can mean these things in the sense of the main verb. So here I am using, instead of writing eaten, because have also means eat, I am just trying to complicate my life and I am saying I have had my lunch. Third form चाहिए ना मुझे have की. Have, had. The third form of the verb is had. So instead of writing eaten, I am saying I have had my lunch. This is clear to everybody. Now this is a sentence that is in the present perfect. right? Present है ना ये, I have completed, I have finished my lunch. Present perfect tense. What if I had to write a past perfect sentence? I would say I had, ये भी had हो जाएगा past में, had my lunch, isn't it? Past perfect. And here in this sentence, here which tense do I need? See, two things are happening. Two things are happening. The action of eating dinner and then deciding to meet that person, deciding to see that person. The verb used here is see. So, two actions are happening, but this is happening first and this gets completed before the second one starts. So, both these actions happened in the past, but the action of having dinner happened first, got finished first, and then the second action started. So, I need the perfect tense. I need the past perfect tense for my first action. So, after I had finished dinner, after I had eaten dinner, this had is required. आया समझ अब सबको? That I included this question on purpose. Okay, hope this is clear. If this is clear, give me some thumbs ups so that I know this is clear to you. Manu, is this clear now? डिनर का एक्शन पहले हो रहा है and then you are deciding to see that person. Okay, perfect. So this is again a common question type that I've seen in entrance exams. When they want to question you on tenses, they sometimes give these two heads. Okay, all right, perfect. Let's see this question now. No, Advait, that would be incorrect. I decided to see him after I had finished my dinner, after I had eaten my dinner, or after I had had my dinner. I need the past perfect tense there. Okay, because what you are saying can be written as I decided to see him after I ate my dinner. This would be incorrect, no? After I ate my dinner, after I had eaten. That is what I need. Okay. So B, C, that's it. What about others? Just two B's and two C's? Okay. Frightened is fine. Frightened is fine. No error there. I'm saying frightened, the little girl. So here, see again, frightened is being used to describe the little girl. Frightened. So I am just telling you what happened once she got frightened. The little girl screamed loudly. Absolutely correct. I need an adverb here. Okay. Loud is an adjective. Loud is an adjective, but this loud here is not describing any noun. It is describing an action, a verb. So I do not need an adjective here. I need an adverb, loudly. Right? Words that describe verbs are called adverbs. So screamed loudly. B has an error. Frightened is fine because I am using it as a phrase that is modifying this entire part. Because वो डरी हुई थी, that's what I'm trying to say. एकदम से वो डरी हुई थी and that's why, she screamed loudly. Okay? So, a phrase modifying this entire sentence, that's why taken out of the sentence and put in the beginning. B, Bangalore. No, having frightened means उसने किसी को डरा दिया. Having frightened her neighbor, she started dancing. Let's say. ठीक है, उसने अपने नेबर को डराया और फिर वो डांस करने लगी बिकॉज लाइक शी वाज हैप्पी दैट अ नेबर गॉट फ्राइटेंड. सो हैविंग फ्राइटेंड मींस किसी को डरा देना, राइट? होप दिस इज क्लियर एंड वी कैन मूव अहेड. Right, a preposition question. Let's see what you say. B, okay, I've got B. I hope. No, this is, I think, for the previous question. Yes, come on. Through elimination, this will become easy. Okay. C, B, D, all right. A. So basically, I've got everything. I think the third blank is pretty easy, which is 10 minutes away here. Does that make sense? Which is 10 minutes away here? No. So A cannot be the answer. Which is 10 minutes apart from here? Apart from means except. So D also does not make sense. E, which is 10 minutes on the right of here. 10 minutes on the right of here. 10 minutes is being used to convey the time that you will take. Okay. So I'm in a way phrasing the distance in terms of time. So 10 minutes from here. Not 10 minutes apart from here or 10 minutes away or on the right of. So actually A, B and E were pretty easy to eliminate. We are left with C and D. Okay. In fact, okay, D is also easy to eliminate as I told you. We are left with B and C. We are left with B and C. So it is 12:30 p.m. as per my watch. He lives on Church Street. So this now becomes a little confusing in case, let's say, you haven't read the chapter on prepositions or you haven't practiced enough questions on prepositions. Should it be on? Should it be in? Grammar says it should be in. When you are naming a street where a person lives, you should say in Baker Street, in Church Street, not on. Because on the street would imply वो सड़क पर रहता है, right? On the streets. He lives on the streets. When we say this for someone, that means this person is homeless. Okay? So he lives in a proper noun, which is for the street, in Church Street, in Baker Street. So C is correct. And it is by my watch. When you are telling time according to your watch, the preposition used is by my watch. Okay, always. Right? So that's why C is our answer. I hope this is making sense. C and not B, not D. All right. Then we can proceed comfortably. And in case, let's say preposition is a weak area, I told you that Renan Martin has exercises, FIBs only on prepositions. Go for them. Okay, it will probably take you some hours, right? But after that, I think you will have a much better knowledge of prepositions, right? So now, again, a previous year question. Let's see what you say here. Last one. Eliminate. You'll get it. Last question for the day. I want your enthusiastic response. A, all right. Okay, okay. All right. D, A. So Manu, what's wrong with D? B also I've got for nearly an hour. It is also fine for an hour. For nearly an hour. She waited for approximately an hour. This is also fine. A is the answer. Okay. A is the answer. Two problems in A. One is this, I mean, these two are not needed together. Okay. Either I can say do it right now. That will indicate the immediacy of the action. Or I can say just do it. Okay. In both the cases, I want you to take immediate action. Right? Just do it. Or in fact, even if some of you might think, okay, fine, but I need to really press on the fact that I want it to be done right now. So what's the matter? I'll use both. Just do it right now. Okay. So in that case, this is also incorrect. It should be will you. The question tag here should be will you, not won't you. Won't you, when you are saying something directly to another person, you use this won't you tag when you're making a polite request. Please pass on the bottle, won't you? Please pass on the bottle, won't you? So this is a request. Pass on the bottle, will you? This is a command. So here the teacher is giving a command, right? And this will you shows a level of irritation. Uh, Stop talking, will you? Okay, so if I say stop talking, will you? So again, I am irritated. That is indicated by this will you. So won't you indicates a polite action, whereas this teacher snapped here, right? So that's the major problem with this. Will you will come. Okay, absolutely. You're saying won't you will not come. As it says, our teacher, not my teacher. So, how does that make a difference? If I say my teacher snapped, my teacher snapped. So, if I'm calling her my teacher, just do it right now. Will you? This you could refer to just me also. This you could be singular also, plural also. The problem is with this question tag, won't and will. That's the problem. Okay? All right. Normally, yes. Normally, that's the case, Manu. Correct. That the normal situation is that with positive sentences, we use a negative question tag. So, but there are exceptions to it. So, this comes in that exception. Just do it right now, will you? Okay. No. This is again you. So, for instance, Acha, you were saying with commands. Um, yes, with commands, we use this will you structure. Stop talking, will you? So see, even though I am saying something negative, then also I am saying will you? Stop talking, will you? Okay. So negative, then also I am saying will you only. Positive, then also I am saying will you only. So yes, with commands you use the will you structure. Okay. All right. Any other query that you have? Infame said knock knock. Please don't tell a knock knock joke after this. Right. Any queries so far in what we've done? In Church Street, I hope that was clear. Buy my watch, screamed loudly. Had was correct here. Before talking about our meals in a general sense, we do not put the, right? So remember these things. Oh, yes, the schedule. Just give me a second, okay? Uh, just a second. This is April, right? So for cat, Sorry to keep you waiting. Just give me a second. My laptop is a little slow today for some reason. Okay. So see, today's first, I have already had a session with you. Tomorrow, I'll meet you at 12 p.m. Okay. And tomorrow, we will talk about MAHCET because a lot of you were asking, requesting for sessions for MAHCET. So tomorrow, it will be an MAHCET, VRC, but it will be a synonym antonym session. So no matter which exam you are preparing for, it will help you. So even it will help even those students who are preparing for CMAT. So you can attend that at 12 p.m. For CAT, our next session will be on 12th April. Okay, 12th April again at 12 p.m. Okay, so there I'll talk about how scoring 90 plus percentile. So we'll take a lower target and we'll talk about scoring 90 plus percentile in CAT 2020. Okay, so I hope this is clear now, Vishal. For CAT, I'll see you on 12th. For MHCET tomorrow, and for CMAT I'll keep on seeing you. So for instance, on Tuesday 12 p.m. we'll have a language comprehension marathon for CMAT. Then on Wednesday we have a verbal reasoning booster, right? On Thursday again. So I'll see you at 12 p.m. every day except on Sunday and Monday. From now on, we have revised our schedule in such a way so that I see you at 12 p.m. every day. Okay, except Sundays and Mondays. Last question again. Okay. Just a second. Yes. So in the last question, the error was in part A. Why was part A erroneous? Because this is an imperative sentence. What are imperative sentences? When you directly talk to someone. So for instance, come here. The person you're talking to is directly in front of you. You are simply saying, come here. Or please give me a glass of water. Again, you're directly talking to that person. So, imperative sentences address a person directly and they can be commands like come here. They can be requests, please give me a glass of water. They can even be a suggestion, oh, let's go to a party. Now, with these imperative sentences, if they are polite, for instance, a request, then you use won't you. Please pass that, please give me a glass of water, won't you? We say, no, won't you be a dear and bring me a glass of water? Yes. Then, if it is a command, give me a glass of water, will you? So this will you indicates a measure of impatience. कि दोगे या नहीं दोगे? That sort of. So this is in the nature of a command, and therefore I should use will you here. Right? Okay. All right. For MHCT and in new batch, see our you know curriculum, how we have planned our sessions is that we prepare you for an umbrella exam, right? So that is CAT. Now, that does not mean that we are preparing you just for CAT. We are preparing for all the non-CAT exams also, like ZAT specific sessions happen, IFT specific, NMAT. So it's an umbrella course that you subscribe. In case you are asking roosters for a series of sorts, for a last lap of sorts, then yes, that is going to happen for MAHCET also. In fact, we have 3 months, more or less. So we will prepare for MAHCET over these 3 months. There will be a lot of YouTube sessions in case that is what you were asking. Okay. Welcome. All right. So if you like the session, please press the like button. Do subscribe to our channel so that you keep on receiving updates about my sessions. I get a little confused regarding my schedule at times. Okay, so that subscription of the channel will take care of that, right? This is our CAT PIVAT program. This is the ongoing batch right now. It says CAT 2022, but as I just told you, it's a comprehensive course. It covers everything, all the exams. And in case you have any queries, you can join our Telegram channel. How to improve your mock score? See, this is again, you have to first see where the problem lies. In the verbal section, let's say, in the English section, let's say, what kind of questions am I getting wrong? Is it pretty random? Is there no pattern to it? Or is there a pattern to it? Okay, it's the grammar questions that I get wrong. It's the vocabulary questions that I usually make wild guesses in. So don't make wild guesses. There is negative marking, no? So don't make wild guesses, right? In grammar, if it was a rule-based question, that means now you need to learn that concept. If the problem is in RC passages, practice more RC passages. If in RC passages it's in a particular question type, let's say inference, then practice more inference questions. So zero in on the problem, okay? And it could be a strategy problem at times. Concepts सब clear हैं, but when I start attempting, let's say I don't prioritize my passages, or I get nervous during the while attempting the session. So see what the problem is first, and accordingly you will find a solution. Try not to repeat that. If let's say a very basic thing, if let's say I am getting nervous in the exam, then next time I will try to make myself look at the bigger picture. I will not get nervous. I'll try to keep my calm. Okay. How can that happen? So try it in one exam. थोड़ा सा कम nervous हो गए, फिर एक और mock लो, थोड़ा सा और कम nervous हो गए. So through practice, it will become a routine for you. So this is how you start scoring more. You first have to narrow down to on the problem. Okay. I hope this makes sense. Grammar questions always. So see, Khush, you know the problem. So see, if it was a rule-based, concept-based question, learn that concept right there. Right? She looks, see, Abhinav, it depends. If she's young, if this person is young and you want to say she looks younger than she already is, then you would say she looks younger in curly hair, not hairs. There is nothing like hairs. Okay. If this person is old and you want to say, okay, she is 60, 70, but she looks young in curly hair. So then you'll use young. It depends on what you want to say. All right. Okay, then. I hope this clarifies your queries. I'll see you next time. Bye. See you tomorrow at 12 p.m.